So, what if your AI assistant had a perfect memory? I mean, what if it had instant, totally up to the minute access to Google's entire developer world? Well, just recently, Google dropped a tool that's aiming to do exactly that. And honestly, it could completely change the way we all work. Let's break down how.
First, to really get why this is such a big deal, we have to talk about something every single developer using AI has felt. You know the feeling. You ask for help and the AI just so confidently gives you an answer that is flat out wrong. Now, this isn't really the AI's fault. It's a problem with its memory. It has this huge critical blind spot.
Just think about it for a second. Is your AI assistant kind of living in the past, right? When you ask it for a piece of code, are you getting the latest, most efficient way to do it, or are you getting something from like 2 years ago? That's the real issue here. These AI models are trained on a snapshot of data, and in the world of tech, the past could have been last week.
And that creates this massive gap between what's promised and what we actually get. We're sold this idea of instant expertise, but what we get are confidently wrong answers. We're hoping to speed up our workflow, but instead, we're stuck debugging old code snippets or trying to figure out why on earth the AI just suggested a deprecated API. It's such a waste of time, and it totally breaks your focus.
This one sentence from Google's announcement just hits the nail on the head. Large language models are only as good as the context they are given. It's so simple. An AI just can't know what it hasn't seen. If its entire understanding of Firebase or Google Cloud is based on old training data, well, its advice is going to be just as old. Context. It's everything.
Okay, so how do you fix a context problem? Well, you give the AI a direct line to the source of truth. And that is precisely what Google has built with the first part of their solution, the Developer Knowledge API.
So let's be super clear about what this thing is. The Developer Knowledge API is a clean, official, machine-readable way to get into Google's Docs. Now, the key phrase here is machine-readable. This means no more fragile web scraping, no more relying on the model's stale, baked-in knowledge. It's all about getting the information straight from the source every single time.
And it has 3 really powerful features. First up, comprehensive coverage. And we're talking about the whole shebang. Firebase, Android, Google Cloud, you name it. Second, you can search and retrieve exactly what you need and get the full docs page as nice, clean markdown. But this third one, this is the real game changer. Freshness.
So how fresh are we talking? Well, during this public preview, any updates to Google's official docs are re-indexed and ready to go through the API in under 24 hours. Just let that sink in for a second. Your AI's knowledge is never more than a day old. The problem of outdated information? Yeah, it's pretty much solved.
Okay, so we've got this incredible library of fresh information. That's the API. But how do we get our AI assistant to actually use it? We need a bridge, right? And that's where the second piece of this whole thing comes in, the MCP server. The Model Context Protocol, or MCP, is basically an open standard that works like a universal adapter. You can almost think of it as a really efficient librarian for your AI. And because it's an open standard, any tool can learn to speak its language, which is great because it means this isn't some locked-in proprietary solution. It just knows how to go out, find the exact info the AI needs, and bring it back safely.
So you've got your AI assistant over on one side, your coding partner just waiting to help you out.
And then way over on the other side, you have this huge, always growing, constantly updated library of Google's official developer documentation, the source of truth.
And the MCP server, that's the bridge that finally connects the two. For the very first time, your AI assistant can just stroll across this bridge, go directly into the library, and bring back the latest, most accurate information to answer your question. It's a really simple idea, but it's incredibly powerful.
All right, so what does this all actually look like day to day? What can you actually do now that your AI basically has a perfect memory? This is where it gets really, really cool.
For starters, you can ask for implementation guidance and actually trust the answer. When you ask a question like this, the AI doesn't have to guess anymore. It goes and consults the latest Firebase docs through the API and gives you the current best practice, not something from 3 versions ago.
Troubleshooting is suddenly so much faster. I mean, instead of you having to go and manually search for some obscure error code, your AI can just do it for you. It can look up that exact error in the official Maps API docs and give you the correct, up-to-date fix.
And this is a huge one, real comparative analysis.
You can ask your AI to compare two different technologies for what you're trying to do, and it can pull the latest features, the latest limitations, even the pricing from the official docs to give you a recommendation you can actually rely on.
And maybe the best part of all of this? Google has made it ridiculously easy to get started, especially during this public preview. This isn't some complicated week-long setup. It's literally just 3 quick steps.
And that's pretty much it. You just create an API key in your Google Cloud project, run one little G-Cloud command to switch on the service, and then you just point your AI tool to it in a config file. Seriously, you could be up and running with this in just a few minutes.
And this is really just a beginning. Google has already laid out a roadmap for where they're taking this technology, and it's clear they're thinking really big here.
They're planning to add support for structured content, which means the AI could pull not just text, but specific code samples or API reference tables. They're also going to keep expanding the library to include even more of their documentation. And they're going to shrink that already impressive re-indexing time. So it's only going to get faster and a whole lot smarter.
So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. This barrier between our AI tools and real-time, accurate knowledge, it's dissolving right now. So when your development partner always has the right answer because it has a perfect memory of the official docs, what are you going to build?